21.1% of Australian high school students identify as LGBTIQ. 81% of LGBTIQ students believe that their school doesn't support them and that their teachers aren't doing enough to stop LGBTIQ bullying. 81%. That's why Minus18 is so very important, because it's an organisation with a passionate team of young people striving not only to create an Australia where all young people are safe, but also to empower the next generation of leaders.
There aren't that many spaces for young LGBTQIA+ people to come together, to feel safe, to be away from drugs and alcohol and substances. So, we create these spaces so that queer and questioning young people can just feel proud and have a good time without being worried about being excluded or bullied or judged for whatever identity they have.
And they do this in a lot of different ways, creating resources that inform and break down barriers, as well as through workshops, activities and events, where they let young people be themselves, giving them a confidence and pride to keep moving forward. But with social and physical distancing restrictions in place thanks to COVID-19, what did that mean for those LGBTIQA+ young Australians? Well, Minus18 weren't just going to sit around and find out, jumping into the online arena of engaging and informative content with the passion that we've come to expect from them.
We had to go digital very quickly. We sort of all came together and were like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to connect people? What's our objective? Why are we doing it? And ultimately it was to make sure that young people still felt that safety and that connection even in their own rooms. But for us, we brainstormed all kinds of different events, and particularly ones that we haven't been able to run before, which I've found really exciting from an event programming perspective. We've been able to do like drawing tutorials, fitness workouts, all kinds of stuff, and we've got lots of mental health things coming up. So it's sort of been a chance for us to think outside the box and throw a few things together that we normally wouldn't have. But in this way, we're actually reaching more young people and different types of young people sort of further on from our standard dance party group.
Being able to engage in online spaces means that there is a lot of places that young people can, I suppose, connect to and find queer content and things that connect to their sense of self as an LGBTQIA+ person. But for Minus18, creating that connection and humanising these spaces and the experiences that we have as members of the LGBTQIA+ community is something that we do really well. And the idea of celebration and being proud. And when people are stuck in their homes, something that we're hyper aware of is that a lot of young people don't necessarily have a space within which they can, really access that sense of identity. And sometimes it can feel as though it might disappear when there aren't other people around to share it with.
Home isolation can be further triggering for young people who aren't supported or not open in their home environments. So the connections that Minus18 continue to build on are so very important. Most of these are happening on Minus18's Instagram live feed. But how safe is this online space they're creating for young people?
So particularly when designing these events, our first priority is on safety and privacy. We've talked about young people might not be out or they might not be sure. And there's all this anxiety of, am I going to be judged? Am I queer enough? All those sorts of things that young people might go through and think about. We want to make sure that they don't have any barriers to accessing these events online. And we want to make sure that they are as safe and as supported as our youth worker supervised located events. So to do that, we have made sure that every single event we have a moderator who is a staff member who is keeping an eye on the chat, making sure there's no issues. Particularly when you're hosting public digital events, there are a lot of risks. So we do lots of safety messages, keeping our eye out for anything that might be a bit sus, and obviously acting where we need to.
There's no reason for LGBTIQA+ young people to feel further isolated during home isolation, thanks to the great work that Minus18 are continuing to do. And this week, Minus18, in collaboration with Disney, celebrated the diversity of families and their journeys within the LGBTIQA+ communities, with 4 videos for parents looking at how they can support their LGBTIQA+ child.
I used to be quite homophobic years ago. She had a gay friend, it's like, ooh, that's different.
There's no one way to be queer, there's no one way to be lesbian, gay, trans, whatever. Everyone comes from a really diverse background, And for us, it's about bringing everybody together and celebrating those differences and just having a great time. For our young people looking to connect with us directly, you can obviously follow Minus18 Youth on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a super private Facebook group that almost has 2,000 members now, and it's called Minus18 Teens. And in that group is almost 2,000 young LGBTQIA plus and questioning people. We post daily in there. There's always memes and fun things going on in there. So if you're looking to connect with other queer and questioning young people, that is where you should go.